It is. It is amazing how much we open up. I think that's one of my favorite things about this is just seeing how people just kind of just talk.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I love hearing people's stories, which is why I'm really happy that you are here. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Yeah. So you started stand up in May of 23, right?
Yeah, this last round. I actually used to do stand up. I started many years ago, giving away my age, which is fine. I don't care anymore. I'm so old. I did 97 through 2002. And then I abruptly stopped because it was at a night it was actually like an AA room, which I did a lot of in LA. And it was such a great audience. We would go to AA rooms because they couldn't go out and, clubbing or to the bars. And we would just go and do shows for them.
So one of the things that I did want to talk to you about, so you're from Iran.
Mm-hmm.
And when did you come to the States?
August 18th, 1978. We landed here at 5:01 p.m.
Oh, wow. So it wasn't like a recent kind of thing. You've been here pretty much all your life kind of deal.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Exactly,
nice.
Exactly. Yeah, it was my dad one day woke up and he's like, we're moving to America. And just out of nowhere. And he sent my brother to U.S. for school, for education, January 1st, 1978. And then shortly after that, we got our papers going and we moved here in August of that year.
Oh, wow. So was there any particular reason that he ever said about why he came here, or you just wanted to?
I mean, I don't know. He was in the military at the time.
Nice.
So we figure maybe he knew something, maybe he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But when we moved, it was still very quiet. There wasn't anything going on with the revolution. And my brother had already moved here for education. And then my dad was like, why don't we go there and get you guys good education?
Yeah.
And with the idea that we were going to come back. But we moved and then we never went back. It just kind of, it just feels like fate had it that we would be here.
Yeah.
Would move here.
To the very limited knowledge that I have of Iran, I see that it was very different back then.
Yeah, I'm seeing some videos like on Instagram, like in the 70s. I mean, it was such a advanced country. Like there was a lot of famous people that would come and visit, concerts and people outings and stuff. You would never ever think that this was like a religious country, which Iran was never a religious country. Those sector of the people that wanted to be religious were left alone. And they were religious. But for the most part, I think I would describe Persian people as very spiritual. In that most of us pretty much really believe in God, but we don't practice religion or organized religion.
Oh, okay. And so is that something that your family are Persians, or is that like...
Yeah, my family's Persian. We were born into, like most of our generations, Islam. But my immediate family, being my parents, we didn't practice religion, but we believed in God. But their parents were very religious.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what is I guess, pardon my ignorance on it, but what is like a practicing Persian, like how does that religion sort of...
I guess when you're desperate, you pray.
Okay.
Like, oh my God, I'm in trouble. Help me, God.
Yeah.
And then if not, you forget all about it. Like a really bad person who believes in God,
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I think I get you. I guess I'm just really showing my ignorance in a way, but I'm like, I don't think I even know what Persian is. Like, what?
I think when I look at the like the geography, like the maps and stuff, I think probably Persia was a little bit bigger, in the land. But as it became Iran and with the wars and whatever, it got smaller. And now it's Iran with, all the other countries. But it was definitely used to be called Persia.
Oh, okay. All right.
So that's like our ancestors and our,
So now it's so now it's all kind of
Iran. Yeah.
putting it together and
Yeah.
everything. So, I guess I'm just kind of curious about how you connected the dots between moving here from the 70s and then, did you live in Austin?
No, we moved here. We moved to Northern California.
Oh, okay.
And then I went to high school for 3 years. I graduated early. My sister went to high school 1 year, and then she went to community college. And then my dad got sick. He got cancer, and he did everything he could to put me and my sister in the same college. So we applied for a lot of different colleges, and we ended up at Fresno State.
Oh, okay.
It was one of the schools that accepted both of us. Because he wanted us to be together. He was planning on going back home because he was sick. And so he and my mom went back home, and we ended up in Fresno. And I got a degree. My sister got a degree. She met her husband there. And I feel like that was like the only reason we ended up in Fresno, because I never did anything with my degree because at the time I didn't have my papers. So I couldn't really get a real job.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister, she went to school, but she was happy to let it all go because she fell in love.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So what did you end up doing? Did you go to school to pursue entertainment?
No, that kind of luckily passed. There was one class, if I had taken that class, it was like a 1-unit class for like entertainment or for acting. If I had taken that class and gotten a taste of what acting is or entertainment or self-expression is, boy, I would have just dropped everything. But I really wasn't allowed to think for myself, and also because we were getting our own funds from back home, we had to study a certain major where it was potentially viable for the country. Because we were planning on going back home. So you study to become a doctor or an engineer or something proper. So when you go back home to Iran, you can get a job. So they wouldn't approve of a lot of different degrees, even though we were asking for our own money to come here to go to school, which was crazy.
That's a side of it I never knew.
Yeah.
I never knew that was a thing.
Yeah, because a lot of people before all this, a lot of Persians moved here and they brought their own money, but we didn't have so much money. So we had to, scrape off here and there to get money just to go to school. But it had to be a potential degree in something that could potentially be beneficial for the country when we would go back, potentially.
Oh, okay. Do you think that's why, I guess there's that stereotype that, I guess Indians, I guess, and then I know that you're not Indian, but like Middle Eastern people and things like that, they become doctors and stuff like that?
No, because I think the parents are really, they care about education. It's all about status. Like, I'm better than you, or my son is better than your son, or, it's all about that status thing more.
Okay.
For us in particular, at the time, it was important because we needed the money in order to go to school. And I didn't know any better. I was good at math and numbers. So I was like, I'll study engineering, whatever.
Gotcha.
I didn't put too much thought into it.
Oh, okay.
It just almost feels like I was going through the movement, just through the process, just in order for the 4 to 5 years to go through. So my sister would end up meeting her soulmate and then get married and just go, to Europe or whatever. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you're doing this in support of another family member without even realizing.
Sure.
That's what it felt like, because that degree or that part of my life I could have done without.
Gotcha. I understand. So what did Shari want to do? Like, what did you actually want to become?
I just wanted to date and have a boyfriend at the time.
Yeah. Did that ever happen?
Yes. I had a couple of boyfriends finally when I was allowed to date.
Yeah. Did you have to be a certain age or something to date, or?
No, at the time it was so weird because we were still under the ideology, and my sister was such a she still is. She was such a goody two-shoes. She was just, a good girl. And I was like, I'm not her.
Yeah.
I need to have fun.
You're more of the party.
Yeah.
You like to party.
And they were like, well, if you want to marry someone, you can date them. I was like, but I don't know if I want to marry them until I date them. And then maybe I change my mind.
Sure.
So I would have these conversations with my mom because my dad had already passed at the time. And then it just finally came to a point where my mom and my sister decided it was okay for me to date. You know, yeah. And then I started dating, which was towards the end of my college years. And then we were there for a little bit longer, and I was just dating different guys and stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, but that sounds fun though. It's like it sounds like you were just living your life.
Yeah, like I was definitely in the category of wild. With the things I wanted to do, unlike the rest of my family, like any other like 20, 21-year-old. There was just so much inside of me that I wanted to experience.
Oh yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Everybody just kind of like they just rebel. They just go crazy during that time,
Yeah. Exactly.
So you ended up in LA, right? Because of acting? You pursued acting?
Actually, I was kind of in a limbo, waiting for our papers to come through because we didn't have our papers, right? We just came here to America to go to school, and then we ended up staying. And so we waited for my mom to get her green card, and then I already knew that I wanted to do acting at the time because I had taken a class, and I was like, whoa, this is really exciting. And so as soon as I got my papers, I started taking acting classes in a community college in Northern California. And then as soon as, I guess the next level that I was ready, then I started applying for colleges and acting schools. And I ended up at NYU. And I went to moved to New York 93 through 95, and I went to acting school there through Strasberg.
Oh, wow. That is too cool.
Yeah.
What made you want to become an actor? Were you influenced by someone?
While I was in waiting and I finished college and I was just doing little jobs here and there, like work at Radio Shack, work at, clothing stores or whatever, I was just taking different classes. And I ended up taking a summer class, like a 6-week class that was like acting. I was like, let me just try it. And I tried it and I was like, wow, to express these emotions. And I have such access to my emotions. I can just, like that, start crying for you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, that's good.
Yeah. So, and that's when it got in my system, and I started taking some acting classes, and I was just waiting until I got my green card so I could go to whatever acting school. And as soon as I got it, I started applying.
Oh, wow. That is too cool.
Yeah.
I got into acting when I was real young because I was a very outgoing kid, but I loved it. I loved it so much. I was like, man, I don't know why I didn't do this to begin with. So did you? So you were in community college before NYU. Did you ever do like a theatrical play then, or?
Let me see. I did 2 plays while I was in the process of applying for colleges. Yeah. So I did a couple of them at College of Marin, which was a kind of a famous. Robin Williams went there, and a couple of other semi-famous people went there, but Robin Williams was the big one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
So every once in a while he would come through because he was friends with the dean of the acting school there because he went under him. So the guy was still around when I went, but I never saw him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's still pretty cool just to be, kind of parallel to people like that.
Yeah.
So, and you pursued acting also in NYU or New York?
Yes. Yeah. That's why I went to New York to pursue acting.
Oh, that's great. How did that go?
The first year I went to Strasberg acting school through NYU. And NYU had like 5 different chapters for acting. There was Stella Adler, Strasberg, Circle in the Square, which was a mixture of Strasberg and Adler, a mix. And there were a couple of other ones, School of Dramatic Arts, and one other one. And then in the middle of the first year, I was talking to my supervisor and just out of conversation, I was like, well, I want to take this class. I want to take this class. I already have a degree because I already had an engineering degree from Fresno State.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, what? She's like, you're not supposed to be here because, if you have a degree already, you're not supposed to be in our undergrad. You have to apply for grad school for acting.
Oh, wow.
And so after the second semester, they threw me out, which was a blessing because then I ended up just going to Strasbourg on its own, which was a lot cheaper because I wasn't looking for a degree. I was just looking to pursue acting. Yeah. And that's when the real fun began.
Oh, wow. So was it did you pursue any particular, genre of acting? Like, were you wanting to be more of a dramatic actor or?
In Strasbourg, and I think probably in all the different chapters under NYU, what they would teach you is theatrical, which like stage.
Okay,
right?
Gotcha.
How to project, how to do, and then if you wanted to do on camera, then they had a camera, they had another class. But it was, I think the way they taught it, it was really getting me ready for all aspect. And you put a camera in front of me, now I have to watch the angle, I have to be aware of a few things, but still the acting, how you bring up emotions and how you listen and talk to the other character, all of that is the same.
Yeah, actually, I did notice that because as I was setting up the camera, I was like, "You're the only person who actually went like, all right, hold on, am I good? Am I good to go?" And I was sitting there, I was like, "This is actually kind of nice because it feels like you're
paying attention.
You're paying attention, and
right.
you're a subject. You're a good subject." And I was like, "Oh, that's awesome," But a lot of times, it's so funny. Like a lot of times, other comedians who have been here, they're just like, "Oh." Like they don't know, but
right.
I mean, but that's cool though. I can kind of see it. So it very much influenced even who you are. Right. So at what point did you make a decision to kind of go more towards comedy? Did you make that in New York or?
So 93 through 95, I was in New York. And when I moved to New York, there was such a vibe, such an energy. And I was like, I'm going to live here for the rest of my life. And then by the end of 95, I actually ended up doing like a 1-week workshop to meet agents and managers in LA. And I came to LA and then I was like, oh, I think I need to be here. And then I went back, and when I went back, I was like, what the hell am I doing here? This place is driving me nuts. It's too busy. All of a sudden, it was like, because it was time to leave, then the vibe wasn't working for me anymore.
Wow.
And then I moved to LA to pursue acting. And that's when, because I like the comedy genre a little bit more than drama, I wanted to get more involved with comedy stuff. And I was trying to do a lot of improv, but the groups that I was getting involved with wasn't working. It wasn't getting off the ground, or we had difference of opinion about a lot of things. And I was like kind of having this conversation with the universe, God, if you will. And I was like, you're directing me to do comedy. Why is this thing not working? Right?
Sure.
Like I said, my intention, I'm like putting it out there. What is it? And I had at the time read one of the most profound books I've ever read, although I don't do a lot of reading, but I've done a few. But this one was so good. Conversations with God, book 1, which kind of talks about your relationship with God and ultimately with yourself, and how the universe, when you put something out there, the universe comprises to bring an answer to you in many different ways. You just need to be open to it. And I was like having that conversation with the universe. And at one point, I saw this huge billboard that was in lime green. And I can't even remember what it was for, like what the advertising was for. And then in big, bold, black letters, it said, "Are you afraid to be on your own?" And because it came to my attention, I was like, well, this is a message to me. And I'm having a conversation with myself. I'm like, no, I'm not afraid to be on my own. I'm here in LA. I'm by myself. And then all of a sudden it dropped that, oh, are you afraid to be on your own on stage? And that's when I knew I needed to do stand-up comedy. So I would say it was a very spiritual experience, how I came about understanding. And I think this is I believe this is a calling for
Wow.
me.
That's interesting. And I like the way that you unpacked that. That was pretty cool, actually. And how it so you get this calling, and how did you, well, what was your next step at that point? Like, did you have a sort of like, oh, I'm just going to go to the first comedy club I see, or
Right.
where was your first place you ever did comedy?
It was at this coffee shop that is no longer in existence.
Sure.
And I had a few good friends, and, we were closely working together and stuff, telemarketing. And, I invited them to come and support me. And I just started to write some jokes. And the first time it was so scary. Like, I was pacing back and forth outside the coffee shop, and I almost threw up a couple of times. It was so overwhelming to me.
Wow.
I was like, okay, calm down, calm down. And it went really well. And then the following week, I tried again. It didn't go well. And I was like, oh my God, oh my God. And at the time, I was really affected by the audience's response to me. And that's like one of the ways I knew this is like an addiction. This is not good for me, right? Because as the years went by, when I would get on stage, it was just the highest high.
Sure.
It's like drugs. And the moment I would get off the stage, it would subside. And I was like, this is not good. This is not a healthy relationship with comedy,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
some would think that that's actually the exact relationship you should have with comedy.
Right now, I have a really healthy relationship with comedy. I have a lot of fun. I mean, it is insane how much I enjoy writing and how much I look forward to bringing those new jokes on stage. But when I get off the stage, and if I don't do well, I don't want to go home and slash my wrist.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I can live past it.
So, what were your jokes like back then? Where did you have just a typical setup punchline kind of thing, knock it down, hopefully, and or did you who was like your kind of influence to like lead to the way that you wrote, and then what kind of jokes were you writing?
At that time, my jokes were very much blue, very blue.
Blue? What do you mean by blue?
Like as in very not dark, but because it was just self-deprecating, but it was about sexuality and like, can we curse here? Yeah, it was about like dick and pussy jokes, which a lot of people do. But that's at the beginning. And I feel now that in hindsight, I look at my, 7 years, I never grew out of that. It was going so well that I didn't want to grow or leave it behind and do something else. I was very much stuck with it. And I started traveling, with that stuff, and it was paying off. I mean, people were loving it, and I was getting a lot of laughs. So I had no reason to level myself up as a comedian.
Yeah. Was your family supportive of that?
No. No,
once
they're
again,
still not supportive. What are you talking about?
Right. Once again, the perfect description for comedy right there. Right. You can't have parents who are like, go get them,
Oh, yeah. No, go get a husband is what my family says.
Right. I can't wait to see my darling Shari up there, and you dick and pussy jokes, and you're like, oh, shit. Okay. That's great, though. That's awesome. Like, I don't think you want people to be too supportive. You almost want them to not be. It gives you something to write about.
Yeah, exactly.
You found that you added a lot of your culture into your comedy?
Not at that time.
Not at that time?
Again, it was just very blue, just talking about dating, sexuality, and whatnot. I think going back to when I started, I stopped in 2002, and then I got a manager 2008 and 2009. She encouraged me to go back into comedy. And so for between 2008 and 2009, I went back to comedy, but it was like I would go up on stage with like hijab covering myself up. So it was a complete 180 from what I did before.
Oh.
Yeah. So I would just talk about comparisons, having a husband named Ahmed, and like all of that, stereotypical stuff, which again got a lot of laughs, but it wouldn't stick. once again. So I left it behind and tried again 2016 and 17. Again, my jokes completely changed.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And it still didn't stick for whatever reason. It wasn't time. And then 2019 and 2020, I picked it up again, material completely changing. And the pandemic happened, and I was like, I can live without this. And I was forced to move here, just circumstances of life. And once I moved here, after 5 or 6 months, I got pulled back in because I was riffing with my friend. She's a writer also. And we're just talking about my mom, my relationship with my mom, all the things she does that drives me nuts, this and that. And, and then this bit developed. And I was like, oh my God, this is so funny. I gotta do this on stage.
Yeah.
And because of that, I was like, I think I need to do stand-up comedy again. So I moved to Austin from Blanco, which is where my mom is. And I picked stand-up again May 1st of 2023. And it's been the strongest I've ever been. And it's been the funnest I've ever. And I do not foresee leaving this.
Oh my God.
At all.
You know what I'm just putting together? Like you picked it up literally, and I picked it up. Or you began to unpack it again at the same time that I picked it up. I came here in April of 23, and that's kind of when I started.
Okay. Interesting.
That's really cool. That's a pretty cool little observation there. So where was the first place that you ended up like going to in Austin? Like where?
So the first night I just went out and about on 6th Street. And I have no idea where anything is. And I walk by Mothership and I see a line. And before it, 1 block prior, I just started talking to this guy. And I'm like, do you know where Mothership is? And he's like, oh, it's right here. And I see a whole line. And I see every single person in line literally is a male. I'm like, where are the women? Right. I'm like, hell, I'll just stand in line. So, and at that time I had blue hair. So I had already started letting my hair go gray, but I wanted to get funky. So I had blue hair and I was like, okay, I'll stand in line. So I'm like the last person that signs up. And I'm like, where are the girls? There are no female comics, here. How about you putting me up? Look at me. I'm a girl and I have blue hair. And he just smiles at me. And I was like, okay. And then the list comes out and I actually get on the list. And I was like, okay,
nice.
That's all it takes.
Wow.
Asking.
That's awesome. So it was the open mic.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It was the open mic.
All right. For some reason, I was like, you just went up and got on. I was like, you know how many times I did that? Those door guys are strong.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't ask now.
Gotcha.
But that time.
But back then, there was something about that 23.
Yeah, exactly.
It was weird. So, man, your first place in Austin was the Mothership?
Yeah.
Whoa, like talk about crazy. Like,
I know.
That's nuts.
And I know nothing about Killtony, and they're like, here's another show, Killtony, who wants to sign up? I'm like, okay, I'll sign up. And I signed up. And I had no idea what I signed up for. And I go to the alley. That's when they had it back then.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they told me there's another show here. And I signed up. They said I can go up. And the girl's just looking at me like, what are you talking about? I had no idea. And then a couple of the comics told me what the deal was. I was like, oh, no, I'm not staying. And the guy was like, you want me to let you know in case your name gets picked? I was like, no, don't ever tell me this. And I ran away. Because I had no idea what the deal was.
Yeah.
And it was just way too early.
God, can you imagine going up when you just have no idea the context of that show?
That's what they discourage.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine that. Yeah. Especially if you're just like, I don't know. I just, I can't just see myself, the curtains opening up, me not having any idea what's going on and just being like, oh, shit. Like a ton of people. And then you got these 4 people and possibly a celebrity that you might know.
Right.
Making fun of you.
Dude, I ran away. It's like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
I would have run too. Shoot, y'all almost ran you telling a story. Man, so I guess an actual like little open mic kind of place, like one of our little, crusty, dirty places. Where did you end up? Like, you started at the pristine, beautiful mothership.
Yeah.
I was expecting you to say like Tiniest or, like Creek in the Cave. That's a very popular one.
Sure, sure.
So did you end up in one of those places eventually?
Yeah. One person that I talked to that I came across, comedian, told me about Austin, Texas comedy page.
Yeah.
Because I had no idea. And I started, going through that on a daily basis and just finding out and found my favorite places and stuff. And then I guess, so that was May of 23. I waited till like October to start signing up for Killtony.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And then from October to April of 24, I went, again, I take my computer and I work. It's not like I don't just sit and wait around.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Why did I not think of that? Oh my gosh.
Now you can start going back.
I know. Now I can start going back. All of my time has been soaked up into this. Like I'm editing all the time.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's using your time wisely.
Yeah. Man, that's good. Thank you for your wisdom. But so as you kind of like started to unpack things, like, did you notice a difference between Austin or the Austin comedy scene versus the comedy scene that when you first started off?
Yeah, and it's almost not fair to compare because it was just comedy was just different back then. Back then, all the heavy hitters were talking about that 1 hour that you fine tune, and then you go on the road with that 1 hour almost like for the rest of your life. But now, you see people with Netflix. Every 2 or 3 years, they're producing another 1 hour.
I know.
So that's the name of the game. Crowd work is the name of the game. Like you need to have a little bit of that.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy because it seemed like back in the 90s that there were just a ton of just like Comedy Central Presents was one of my favorite shows. Do you remember that show?
I've probably seen it. I don't remember the name. Comedy Central Presents, but
I remember I used to love watching that, and it was just all it was just 30 minutes of just a comedian just showcasing themselves, and I remember I saw I think Zach Galifianakis on that, and on TV, so Zach Galifianakis on that, and that's where I discovered Dane Cook, and he was crazy good back then, but yeah, I couldn't imagine like where you're at. Like I'm sort of trying to once again connect the dots between the two. Like, you kind of started in the 90s during probably like my favorite time as far as comedy goes. And then now you're picking up again in 23, which is like, it's okay, but it's different.
Yeah.
It's so different, you know?
And most of the comics are like much younger than me. So that's a little weird. Sometimes, they just look at you funny.
Yeah. Well, what I think is crazy is seeing sort of this revival, the history repeating itself kind of deal. Like, everybody's saying, I forget his names, but this guy who looks like Mitch Hedberg or something, or talks like Mitch Hedberg or something.
Oh, right.
And me, I'm just kind of like, man, this is kind of crazy just seeing that, that Mitch Hedberg in any way, shape, or form is even making kind of coming back again.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like the history repeating itself.
Sure.
And kind of thing. So, but did you find that getting back into it was, I don't know, easy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Each time that I got back into it, it was easy, but maintaining is the real heavy lifting.
Did you have a different approach to comedy this time?
This time I'm not afraid to learn. This time I'm not afraid to drop a joke. And my writing process, I can't even remember having a writing process back then. You know what I mean? I don't remember how I put jokes together, but now it's very specific how I write jokes and stuff. So there is a process.
There is a process. Yeah.
So those are some of the, differences.
So walk me through your process. How do you write your jokes?
This is really weird because I feel like the way my brain has developed right now with respect to comedy, I can just look at anything and be like, oh, look at that wacky thing. Like I almost see like the comedy within something. within
okay.
everything.
Oh, wow.
Like I went to the bathroom at the tiniest and they put up a sign. It's to me, it's the most ridiculous sign. It has flowers around the rim, and it says, "Please do not do cocaine in the bathroom." I'm like, yeah, gotcha. Like
Yeah.
that to me, it just created this whole bit about cocaine and how, with the sign and everything and how people are coming out there like, I'm like, that sign doesn't work. So whatever I see, I
Yeah.
just kind of develops something in my brain. And then sometimes something occurs to me and I feel like I have to bring spirituality into this. It's like when something downloads into my brain, it's at such a high frequency that like 3 seconds later, literally, I forget it. I write it in my notebook and then later, and I'm like, oh, okay, I can develop this. I remember now the premise of what downloaded. So I have my notebook and then like on Monday night or when I start to write, I open my notebook. I'm like, oh, I can add this to this joke or I'm developing a new, I went to the 99-cent store. You guys don't have 99, Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
And I'm like noticing all the cashiers, they have certain things in common, and this lady, she just turned, she's like, ouch, I hit my, my ankle. I'm like, oh yeah, that ankle bracelet. It just seems like anybody who comes out of jail, they give them a job there.
Yeah.
They have that in common,
Yeah, you just pick up on every little nuance, little thing there.
Exactly.
I get it. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's how it's kind of downloading. First, I was so worried about not having enough material. And now I'm like, I look at everything and everything's got that angle to it for me.
And is that different from the way that you used to write a long time ago?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, absolutely. Like, I feel like I've become, let's just say, lighthearted about stuff. And the angle that I see the comedy is not really that rough. It's not like really hurtful.
Yeah.
And that's what I appreciate about my comedy right now.
Oh, that is excellent. How do you handle things like bombing and hecklers and
I came across one heckler at Shakespeare's, and he wasn't even a heckler. He was just a hateful person because the things he was yelling out had nothing to do with me. I usually start out by saying I'm from Iran, and he started attacking Jewish people. I was like, but I'm not Jewish. I was like, he just started yelling and screaming stuff, and it had nothing to do with me. And I, to the best of my ability, I did rebuttal, what he was saying. And after that, I was done.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day, 97 to 2002, one time this guy started heckling me and he was just drunk. He wasn't even malicious or anything.
Yeah.
But it really broke my pattern on stage, and I couldn't go back up on stage for 6 months.
Oh, wow.
It affected me that much. But the next day, I was like, okay, what's next?
It was like, yeah, fuck this dude.
Right. Yeah. It's that all the work that I've done on myself, I'm not, worried about what you think of me.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. To a certain degree, that affects me if I bomb. I need to know why I bomb so I can correct.
Oh, that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
That's a good way to look at it. I didn't, so I'm still extremely green. You know what I mean? Because you actually, when you started in 23, you had a little bit of experience before you even came in and do it. But me, I was just starting. And I'm still kind of learning things like that, such as that mentality, of not letting the bomb get to you. But there was a point, I bombed terribly and I actually did stop for months. And then I was like, yeah, this is something I want to do. And so now I'm trying to navigate that mentality as well, so that's pretty cool to hear your perspective on the way that, you've changed and, you grew and matured, and I think that's really awesome to hear about that, how your experience has played into it.
Right. I think it comes down to learning to own myself. I guess you call that self-love.
Sure.
That I'm okay no matter what happens out there, Yeah.
So, your Killtony thing, you've been up there about 4 times, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how's that experience been for you? When you finally come from the stage, and you
Mhm.
finally go from there and you're like, you know what? I'm actually going to get up and I'm actually going to do it this time.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
really exciting.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so it was a whole different approach, huh? Like, so can you walk me through maybe like your first time?
The first time I was signing up every week,
Mm-hmm.
from October 23 to April 24, like
Gotcha.
every week.
Yeah.
And then, we were at Poor Choices. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if you ever waited there,
Yeah.
just a story, bar.
Mm-hmm.
And I was upstairs just working. And then when I got called, there was such a rush of energy going through me.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like shaking, like I had to hold on to the railing just so I would be able to walk properly
Yeah.
and stuff. And Colton, who, calls names, he was like, just calm down. We have plenty of time. And thank God usually I have about 10 minutes because they really pull you in early on in case the previous interview doesn't go well or finishes up early for whatever reason, so that you're ready to go. So I usually have been able to have about 10 minutes, behind the curtain,
Mm-hmm.
getting ready, so that I calm myself down there and then go up on stage, and it goes really fast and it's really exciting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I always compare that like rush of laughter that comes at me. That is like the highest high.
Yeah. Well, how was it performing in front of, I guess, an actual crowd and not like an open mic?
In two ways, it was amazing because they're a really great crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it's like a full house. So it's the best of the best.
Yeah. It is pretty crazy. I didn't know what Killtony was at the time.
I see.
And my brother, he kind of turned it on to me, and I watched it a few times. But you know how you watch something and like you don't really get it. You just sort of like, oh, okay, I think I see.
Right, right.
So you had a grasp on it before you signed up.
Yes. And the reason I waited was because I was trying to educate myself on Killtony, the kind of questions he asks.
Smart.
If I have any material that I could bring in as part of the answer so I could be funny in the responses, none of that worked. I'm like, no, ask this question because I have an answer for this.
Right.
Like,
and then, no, you got to stay
He's all
fluid.
interested in dating and getting fucked up the ass and all that shit. And I'm like, no, nothing's happening down there.
Right. That is so crazy. But do you think that like kind of the research that you did into it and actually influenced your visit in any way?
No, it didn't.
No?
Because I mean, I have a certain amount of material. I'm
Sure.
like, well, if he said, when did you move here, or where you from, or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
But with this last time that I was there, I was able to bring in some of the jokes I had written in the interview. So that worked.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So it took you like 4 times to be able to do that, huh?
Yeah, because I've been on there, I get approached on Instagram, with younger men, which is my type. Younger white men, tall white younger men. That's I've even come up with an acronym for a T.W.Y.M, tall white younger man. So I get, they message me and they want to, have sex or whatever. So I was talking about that. Yeah, and he's like, have you responded to any of them? I go, no, all these guys are trying to show me their best minute.
Yeah.
Which is a
line.
joke. Yeah, I had written, yeah.
That was a good line. Yeah. I could almost like see you like the next morning, like getting dressed and like getting ready to leave. You're just being like, wow, that's going to be something fun to write about.
Exactly.
Oh, man,
it's going to be a short joke, but.
Yeah. Other than that, like, did you get like a nice like comedic boost around? Or?
Well, the thing of it was with the first 3 Killtonys that I was on, I had no idea that there is another page that promotes these videos, but this round someone told me about it and I reached out to them and I said, can you edit my stuff? And then as a result, they would promote it as well. And so because of that, this round, I got a lot of hits on my videos.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, because of that. Yeah, because he would promote it, and that page is already established.
Yeah,
and because of that, I got a lot of hits.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, well, when I did it, I just kind of edited everything and threw it out there myself and just saw what happened. But it was, I knew that I wasn't funny when because everybody hit me up. And the most popular thing that people said to me was like, "Man, you did great when you played guitar." Nobody said like, "Man, that joke was good, dude." Nobody. I was like, "All right, well, I'm still new."
That's funny. When did you get on?
Oh, dang it, that's a good question. I don't know when, but I want to say it was 24. Yeah,
Okay,
I want to say it was
still
like
early on. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say maybe it was March. Yeah, it had to be sometime like June or July 24. I could find it out. Pull it up, Jamie. I just have to. I could find it out, but yeah, it was something like that. And the funny thing was, Chen was right after me.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, like so. When I left, when I got off the stage, and then you go down that hallway.
Yeah.
It was Chen was just right there, just waiting. I was like, "Chen, oh my god!" I'm like, "Dude, good luck." They did great. But yeah, no, it was a really fun experience. It's kind of a crazy experience, overwhelming if you're new.
Yeah,
it could be overwhelming for sure.
Very overwhelming.
Yeah, I wonder if that's what a lot of people do. I wonder if they just sort of, they come here and they're like, "I'm going to get on Killtony," and then they get on Killtony without really thinking about it.
A lot. Yeah, this one person, came back. She was like, "I forgot all my jokes, I was drinking and I was doing this and that." So now Colt, every time when he's done, is like, "You guys, don't drink too much, just be aware.
Yeah.
Don't mess it up."
It's a monster.
Yeah.
It's a monster for sure. It's something that you could quickly screw yourself up.
It's kind of like jumping on a running treadmill. Because when you walk on that stage, the show is already going, has had momentum.
Yeah.
And you step in and you're catching up.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the part of it that's right. So you better have a speed.
Yeah.
As soon as you get in, you just go right into it and just pick it up and fly.
Yeah. I can, there's something incredibly humbling about walking out and then just being there and just realizing that you're in something that absolutely doesn't need you in any way, shape, and form,
Right.
And I think that as a stand-up comic, especially when you're learning, you get that spotlight directly on you. And it doesn't matter if you're at open mics or where else, but you get the spotlight on you all the time where you think like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to do great. And then you step out on something like that. And then you're like, "What the fuck was I thinking?" This thing doesn't need me. This thing is thriving on its own.
Yeah, life goes on without me.
Yeah. Oh, so I'm not the most important thing in this universe. All right. Damn it. But but yeah.
But then you got to go home, look in the mirror, and say, "You are to me."
Yeah, buddy, we're gonna do it, man. We're gonna get it done. Yeah. That's what I have trouble with. I have trouble like talking myself up enough. Like when I go out there, I think that my lack of confidence is something that I can't help but kind of.
Yeah, and that's what I've been developing all these years, and that's one thing they always talk about when I get up on stage and they're like, "You have a real confidence about you," and I wasn't like this before.
Yeah.
You hide behind a persona, but now I'm not hiding behind any. I'm just who I am. You don't like it? Okay.
Yeah. I notice it. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Like, because it was like I was telling you before, I think it was my first time at Tiniest I saw you, and I've sort of been like paralleled with you in a way. Because I would see you out there, I would see you doing your thing, and stuff. But it was, I didn't even know you were on Killtony actually for the longest time. I had no idea. And they're like, "Oh yeah, she's done like 3. I was like,
at that time.
It's like, no shit. I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." But no, it's so funny because I brought my girlfriend out to Tiniest, and you were there, and you were like her favorite part of the show.
Wow.
Yeah, she loved it. I was like, "Oh yeah, she kills every time."
Thanks.
I was like, every time. So I wasn't surprised when I saw that your Killtony went well. I thought that was really cool.
Great. Thank you.
So what are your goals as far as comedy goes? Where you want to go?
I do dream about getting my writing off the ground.
Yeah.
I've written a lot of half hours, which do need work, like rewrites and stuff. But my primary one, which is about my relationship with my mom, they're all comedy.
Yeah.
That one is my passion project. That's why I started writing, because that one was inside of me and I needed to get it out.
Yeah.
So that one's called Persian in America.
Oh, nice.
And so that one is about the culture, is about being Persian in America. And it's 3 generation, my mom, myself, and supposedly my children, which I don't have any kids, but it's like a 3-generational thing. And that's what I dream of getting off the ground. I have a few other pieces that I would love to get off the ground.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So you have a passion for writing and storytelling.
Storytelling, definitely. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah. And it feels like after I wrote that, then I was like, in order for me to get this thing off the ground, I have to become a writer. It's not just about the story. I have to do this right.
Oh,
and so I started taking classes and stuff. And after I finished that, I realized there were other stories in me. And so I started writing those as well. And by the 4th one, I started noticing a pattern that each of my writing is about one group of underdog.
Oh.
Yeah, so
that's cool.
I'm excited for my writing because I feel like as they get off the ground, they're going to help a different group. They're going to educate humanity about a different group of people.
Oh, nice.
And I want to be able to help that group with the money that I would make.
Yeah, and who doesn't love a good underdog story?
Yeah,
you know, that's that is really awesome. That is really awesome. Like, are you thinking about? I know, like when you kind of get into these classes and you kind of do classes, you sometimes like the ones that I've done, I've always wanted to extend it, to like a degree or something like that. Like, do you think that you would pursue it like that heavily, or are you gonna try and travel and like give your story, like share your story, or
just the angle of education for me is not that important other than me learning the craft.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I mean, even when I went to NYU, it wasn't so much about getting a degree. It was just a way for me to get there because I didn't know any better.
It's the
I
journey.
didn't know about Strasbourg on its own because it would have been a lot cheaper just to go to Strasbourg. So I was in a way glad they threw me out because I was like, now I can do the same thing. I was doing the exact same classes minus the academic part of it that you need to get a degree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm always interested in learning, but not necessarily for a piece of paper.
Are you working on any other stories right now, or?
I have thrown this idea around, or others have thrown this idea by me to do sketches, like these little short films. And no one has picked it off the ground. And I feel like if I have to run after people to get something off the ground, then they're not that interested.
Yeah, sure.
So I haven't found my peep yet.
What kind of sketches would you do? Like, do you like goofy? Like, do you have like?
Oh yeah, goofy.
Yeah.
And I don't know how familiar you are with like my writing style and stuff. I feel like every time I write a bit, all of a sudden it becomes a conversation between 2 characters, like Ahmed, and then Fatima says this and Ahmed says this, or, it's just like a back and forth thing. And some of them I think are really ripe for, to do like a sketch, like a 10-second thing, or a 30-second thing, it doesn't have to, but I don't have the oomph and the knowledge to get it off the ground myself. There's so many things that I'm doing. I'm like, this is all I need. Just one more thing to just be like if I had the oomph for editing, I would put more stuff on Instagram.
Sure.
For myself. So I do need like a group of people who have the same vision so that we could rotate in the idea of, picking up each other's, sketches, sketch ideas, and then get it off the ground.
That's kind of something that was with my brother, because my brother, he wanted to do sketches, and I wasn't very good at the whole idea of sketches, and I always loved sketch comedy like Monty Python and things like that.
Right.
But but yeah, I never was good at it. However, I will tell you this, that I did do a few sketches and all I used is just my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all there, so if if you ever want, you can text me. I'll show you how to do it. I'll tell you what to do if you ever want to do that. But
thank you.
I'd love to be a part of it too. So
okay.
yeah, if you ever just need
That's
somebody to add to it, if you need a big oaf looking son of a bitch, I got you. Let's see. Cool. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming. I love having you here, and that was really good. I appreciate you opening up and kind of sharing your experience with me.
Yeah, of course.
With us. That was awesome. Well, thank you, Shari. I appreciate it.
Of course. My pleasure. Yeah. Thank you for asking.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's pretty much it. It's always real quick, But yeah, did you have anything that maybe you wanted to cover? Like anything else?
There's a dream that I had that I wanted to share because when I did comedy before, it was always punch, 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 right? And it was a different category than what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
In 2019, what was it, 2016? 2016 and 17, when I picked up comedy again, I was auditioning for Flappers comedy in LA. And so we auditioned, and the booker was this young kid. I was like, what can you tell me? I know it all. I was still in that ego mode. And he was like, if anybody wants feedback on what they did on stage, stick around. I was like, well, let me see what this guy had to say. And then when he got to me, he goes, you're very funny. I'll book you. No problem. But here's what I have for you. The things you talked about on stage. Is that really what happened to you? Are you married to a man named Ahmed with 4 wives? Type of thing, which was a funny joke.
Yeah.
And he was like, I said, no, I just make things up. And he goes, well, that's not what comedy is. You got to talk about yourself. You got to talk about observation or, this and that. And I was like, how the hell am I going to make my paralegal work funny?
Yeah.
That gave me something to think about. But he goes, I have a free class. Come and, do the class and see if you're interested. So they were going over the joke structure type of thing. I was like, oh, this is interesting. And then I had a dream that was very telling. There was a huge party. Everybody's comedians. I see all the comics that were at the audition and stuff. There's food. And then now we're ready to part. And I'm starting to walk to go to a what do you call, it's not a jet, but the thing that goes up. What did they go on when they went to the moon? Like a
lander?
Yeah, I'm ready to go there. And you know how those landers? They go up, they just go, whoop, they just go really fast, and they get to their destination, right? And I'm ready to go there because this is what I'm foreseeing for my career, right?
Right.
And then all of a sudden they pull me out of the line and they go, no, you need to go this way. And they take me to a line where I'm going to take a roller coaster ride. So as you know, with roller coasters, there's a build-up. There's a boom, boom. But when you get up there, because I'm looking for that excitement, right?
Right.
But when you get up there, eventually you'll get to a real high and then you'll go down. The excitement is the same, but there's a build-up to it. And what I understood was that this journey needs to take a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And you're still going to have the same fun and excitement when you get up there, but this needs to build.
Yeah.
And that's what I understood, that what the guy was telling me, the booker, started to make sense, that this needs to become a journey and I need to take my time and with the writing and everything. So I started to get into this idea of observation. Observing, what's going on. And that's been a huge part of my writing, observing things and whatnot.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And I really like that. That's really beautiful. And that was a dream that you had?
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah,
my dreams are very telling when a message needs to come through.
Yeah, very vivid and everything. So do you attribute that to your spirituality as well?
Having opened up to being open to receiving answers. For different people, it comes through differently. For me, a lot of times I get stuff through my dreams.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very happy that you shared that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, without a doubt. Sometimes it's not about, the destination, it's about the journey.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'm becoming a real comedian now because of the way I am going about. But again, hindsight, I can't see doing it any other way.
Right.
This is like the only way to do it. It's like the right way.
Yeah.
Type of thing. It's not like boom, 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 boom.
What does a real comedian look like in your eyes?
Someone, I guess, who takes time into writing jokes and really putting time, because I'm watching a lot of like Netflix specials and I listen and I'm like, okay, this is a story. This part of it happened, but he's adding a lot of flavor, which are the punchlines, to the story, glorifying it. Yeah. But it really happened. And that's what I'm learning to do to make the story a lot of fun, or the way you tell it.
Yeah.
We all have to find our way of, telling that story that makes it fun.
Oh, yeah. I totally get it. I started learning that, the real life stuff is much better.
Yeah.
Because I used to, I'm going to say used to because I changed my method now. But
okay.
But I used to have the whole, like, let me just go ahead and just write a joke.
Right.
Never funny.
Right.
But when I talk about, things that happen exactly like for real with my girlfriend and stuff like that.
Right.
And it's so much more fun to tell. It's so much more fun to recall things.
And also, so many people are in relationships so they can connect with what you're going through.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Well, thanks again, Shari. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
That's really awesome. We'll get you back in here soon.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that's it. That's the show.
Hey. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Let's see.